Hey, man, the Tampa Bay Bucs going to go back-to-back this year, dog. Man, Tampa Bay Bucs ain't going back-to-back. They got the greatest quarterback, the GOAT, Tom Brady, on Tampa. Let's see how it breaks down right here on Fantasy Football Friendly. Let's go.
Holy shit.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? All the pirates and pyrettes out there. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the rum boys and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly. I am pleased to come to you guys on another episode here of Fantasy Football Friendly. This time we're breaking down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's right. We're taking it down to Florida. All right. We take. I know the song when I get my peaches down in Georgia. I don't know why I was about to sing that. Anyways, we take it down to Florida. It's gonna get hot during this episode because we are covering one of the hottest, if not the hottest team in the NFL out of all 32 damn teams. That is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're gonna break down Brady. We're gonna break down Gronkowski. We're gonna break down Mike Evans. We're gonna break down Godwin winning his name. We're gonna break down AB. Leonard Fournette, Rojo, all the fantasy intricacies, the ins and outs. But before we do that, make sure that you guys go ahead in the App Store. I need everyone to go and download the SportsMe app. That's right, SportsMe. You guys can get it available on iOS and Android. Ask me your fantasy football questions. I will answer them in real time in 30 seconds or less. Tell you who to start, who to sit, what trades to make, all that good stuff. You can also start topics and start debates of your own. Who's the greatest NBA player of all time? Is gymnastics the hardest sport in all the Olympics? All these other different crazy topics. If you want to debate, if you got a strong opinion, get on over to SportsMe. I also want to remind everyone out there about Monkey Knife Fight. What the? MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Be sure to get on over to MonkeyKnifeFight.com, or you can download the app available on iOS and Android. Promo code RUMBOYS, as you see on the at the bottom of the screen, available to you. We are matching you. Everyone that uses promo code RUMBOYS, we're matching your first deposit all the way up to $50. Make sure you get on over to MonkeyKnifeFight.com. If you have not already, you deposit $50. I'm matching that $50. I know that y'all are trying to win some daily fantasy prop action. If you're into props, get on over to MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Utilize my promo code RUMBOYS. Let's go ahead and get into this fantasy football breakdown. Excited to talk this one up. First things first, we got to go into talking Tom Brady. I mean, this man has not thrown more than 12 picks since 2009. Last year, he did throw 12 interceptions, okay? And that may be reason, people are like, oh, well, he's getting older. I don't know if I still want to, bet on the go. Listen, you don't bet against Tom Brady. A couple years ago on this show, I would have been like, fade Tom Brady. But if he's sitting there for you in super flex drafts, in redraft, you got this guy available for you in two QB in two QB formats. This isn't a bad second QB to have in Tom Brady. He is the greatest of all time. Completed 401 out of 610 attempts, 65.7 completion percentage. I actually, in the Cash Cup, picked up Tom Brady in one of the Rumboys fantasy leagues, 337.9 fantasy points last season total. Once again, 40 TDs. The man threw for 40 fucking TDs. There's no way that you did not want a quarterback that's going to throw you 40 TDs and only 12 interceptions on your team last year. 4,633 yards. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean, all right? Big pimping up in here. Tom Brady, the GOAT, TB12, Tom Terrific, Touchdown Tom, whatever you guys want to call him. This is a guy that should be that everyone should be scooping up. And it's really only because of age that many people aren't scooping up. They're going after the Herberts. They're going after, the Russell Wilsons. the Dak Prescotts. They're going and reaching for these high quarterbacks. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with old and reliable either. Let's get into breaking down. Let's get into breaking down some running backs, because news did come out of Bucs training camp today that Rojo is looking absolutely fucking phenomenal. Like, Rojo is out there killing it. He's starting to hit the hole. That's what she said. A little bit with a little bit more touch of pace. And he's identifying an open space a lot quicker, accelerating through there with some bursts. This one, the running back situation is interesting to break down, because it all depends on how you view running backs, right? So I'm going to take Ronald Jones, the bowling ball, in all formats possible. All right. I trust Rojo more. I think that Rojo will have a bigger hand as the lead back. I think that we could count on Rojo being the lead back. 192 rushes for 978 yards, whereas Fournette only touched the ball 92 times, right? And only came up with 400 or 300 some odd yards. What was it? 400. Came up with 367 yards, so almost so a hair under 400 yards. When I hear that and I see that, just go based off what I saw last year. I know that Tampa now has a full season with everybody together, so they're probably not going to start to a slow start like they did last year. I still believe that Rojo is going to be the lead back. Volume is king. That 98 for a long is just amazing, and 48 for a first down. If you're in a league that's going to give you extra points for a first down, or extra yardage, I mean, that's got to be phenomenal. 7 rushing TDs. Not going to complain about that at all. If I could get a running back that's going to get me seven rushing TDs, and on top of that, if I can play the running back in my flex, if Rojo's not going to be your RB2, like if you're going to go 0 RB, this is probably the running back that you probably want to target. But I mean, I don't know why you would do that, and then why you would also watch Run Boys Fantasy Network at the same time. But if you're going robust RB, I have no problems with this being the guy that you put into your flex spot. I have no problems with him being with being a running back 3 for you, being a flex for you. A 2, a low end 2, a really low end 2. I don't believe I have Rojo in my top 24, but that was also before the Akers injury as well. So, Rojo, Fournette was a little bit better out of the backfield, right? Fournette, receiving wise, had a 76.6% catch rate. It was targeted 47 times and 36 receptions on 233 yards, but got TDs on none of that work. I mean, at least Rojo came away with one, 67.7% catch rate, 42 targets out of 28. He's still being worked and still being utilized in both phases of the backfield, in both phases of the running game. Rojo's the guy. Rojo is king when it comes to when it comes to the back that we're looking for out of Tampa. Maybe they use Fournette out the backfield pass catching roles a little bit more in terms of receiving. I don't know. But Quine Ryan's still going to want to key in on that and see, is that something that you maybe pay attention for in preseason to see if if we get a little hint. I don't know, because once again, Bruce Arians is such a coach to where he doesn't even know what the hell he's going to do. But Rojo's the back that I'm going for out of this backfield. This receiver core is chock fucking full of receivers. Okay, like anybody can go off. Anybody can have a big day. It's time for us to talk wide receivers. My favorite of all. And once again, I mean, I just completed a Bucs stack with Brady and Mike Evans. So if you're going running back, you go QB, and then you're waiting on your receivers. And if you end up with Brady, it is possible for you to end up with any variation of these stacks. And it is possible for even later. I'm picking from the 5th spot in this particular league that I'm talking about in the Cash Cup, the Rum Boys League, or the Rum Boys Cash League, one of our cash leagues. Still plenty of more. If you guys want to get involved, let me know. I took Mike Evans. I went ahead. I was like, man, I could go Godwin. I could go Evans. Let me go in and go Evans. I can even wait late and get AB. I could take Gronk as a tight end now. I have a triple stack. I don't know if I would want to triple stack this team, especially at the tight end position. But I mean, a lot of things can be had here with this receiving core, and a lot of value in this receiving core. And I think this receiving core can possibly support all three. Now, that's going to be on a week-to-week basis. That's not going to be we're going to start or every single week. You can just start all your Bucs. You can start all Bucs receivers, and it's going to be good. No, there is going to come a point where one of these three are going to be flex plays. So I think that all these are going to be wide receiver ones, or all these are going to be wide receiver twos. I mean, you may end up with Evans being the one, or Brown being the one, or guidance. But I mean, AB's also been staying on Brady's couch, right? Since COVID has hit. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this wide receiver core shakes out. Let's first start off with Mike Evans, the guy that I said I stacked with in the cash cup. Give me just 1 second here. I'm gonna get a Mike Evans stat sheet here pulled up. Shout out really quick, Pro Football Reference, profootballreference.com. Being a place where you can look at stats, you can, go ahead, you can get your full season totals on players, so on and so forth. There's tons of sources out there. I just use this, really quick. 109 targets, 70 receptions, 64.2 catch percentage. The guy comes down with the ball. Last year with Tom Brady had his highest catch percentage of all. Okay, he had his highest catch percentage of all, 1,006 yards. Didn't have his highest receiving yard season. Okay, but he did play a full 16 games after 2019. He had only played 13. We know he had some injury, so injuries in 2019. He bounces back, gives us a full 16. With Mike Evans' age, do we worry about injuries? I mean, he is, a 93 baby, sitting in at age 27. Do we worry about his age? And I say that yes, like, it is a good question to raise in redraft formats with any of these guys, but they're all three of them have been playing on the roster for the last couple of years now, so there may be some questions with age with any of them, came down with the ball the most he ever has, in his career. That shows how accurate Brady is. I mean, obviously we saw Brady playing catch with the freaking jug machine, and tossing the ball into the jug machine. Yeah, I like Evan. Can't be mad at that whatsoever. Only concern with Evans is age. That's really it. I mean, 178.6 fantasy points last year over the course of 16 games. You really are just going to be doing a lot of call your shot with this Bucs receiving core. Like, I feel like it's going to be a lot of week to week as to who who to start, like, especially in DFS, right? Like DFS folks are for real going to be asking themselves these questions on a day-to-day basis. Redraft, I say, get one of these guys and just rock with it. Don't go crazy on the Bucs. Don't try and draft all the Bucs receivers. Godwin, super impressive, 77.4 catch percentage. First thing that sticks out to me about Godwin, 84 targets, 65 receptions. What that tells me is that you probably could have targeted this kid a little bit more and a lot more, in comparison to Evans and Brown. Here, let me get that stat sheet up for you guys. I don't know why I didn't want to pull up that one. Okay, so what this tells me is that Godwin was a highly trusted receiver, He had seven TDs last year. He hasn't had a year where he's had the double-digit touchdowns, but he's definitely a touchdown, monster and a touchdown. I'd say a touchdown to pick guy. If you're drafting Godwin, you're depending on him making the most out of his opportunities. While simultaneously, because AB is going to see an uptick. I mean, AB is going to see an uptick. He was sure-handed whenever Brady went to him, just as well as Godwin was sure-handed. So Brady's going to have some decisions to make as well for him as a quarterback. Who am I going to more so in this offense, in this Bruce Arians through the air attack? Is it going to be Brown? Is it going to be Godwin? I feel like we're solidified with Evans probably being the one. I feel like we're solidified with that, and just because of Evans' style of play. And I think that it comes down to, with the one or with the two or the three, is it Godwin or AB? And I'm starting to think that question, the answer to that question can flip-flop either way. I'm wholeheartedly starting to believe that AB could get an uptick and become the two. Like I mentioned, that connection that him and Brady have. Brown has done a lot of kiss ass, to get to that Tampa team. Him and Tom have worked out. They're clearly friends. Tom has advocated for AB, to join the Tampa Bay Bucs. So I hope that Godwin doesn't become a three, or at least he just becomes a three in actual NFL. But like when we're looking at him in fantasy football, we're looking at him and AB neck and neck, as the season progresses. And hopefully us as fantasy analysts, when you guys, the fantasy managers, are asking us, your questions, your start sits, and if you end up with somehow both these on your roster, we're able to tell either or if one guy in your league is asking, about AB, and then you're asking about Godwin, we're able to tell you both that you can start them with confidence. Hopefully these are both guys that you can start with confidence week in and week out. They can beat every week guys, but there's just so many mouths to feed with this team. I don't know if everyone on this receiving core can eat. I don't know if everyone can be every week guy. I think that we're going to see a lot of this week is Evans, this week is Brown, this week is Godwin, and a lot of up and down volume with this team. I mean, come on, 62 and 45 for AB on with 4 TDs. That number is gonna go up. Like that number is he only started 4 games. He played in 8 and started 4. He played at 8 during the 2020 season. Like that number is definitely, to me, going to inflate. I don't believe that AB stays being a wide receiver 3 guy. I mean, this is a guy that everyone is already screaming Hall of Fame AB, Hall of Fame AB. AB's going to be a Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame caliber receiver, which is true. I mean, you look at his numbers compared to one a la Julio Jones, and it's like, well, damn. I mean, go back, so on and so forth. But I mean, AB's stats are fucking phenomenal. No doubt about it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this team is super hard to diagnose. From one of these guys could get a big day. I think the person that takes the biggest hit, in all honesty, is Rob Gronkowski. Gronk, the caveman, Gronky Kong. With Gronky Kong, I mean, he played 16 games last year, 45 out of 75 targets, 58.4 catch percentage. I mean, he's not. There are other tight ends that you could probably go and get, right? Like if I'm in a tight end premium league, the only way that Gronk is probably end up on my team is if I have completely just faded tight end altogether. Is Brady still going to use Gronk? Yeah, because they're friends. They have, a connection. Gronky had 7 touchdowns last year. Not bad. But you really never knew, when to start Gronk. Like if you had Gronk on your team, for the most part, you were playing with a different tight end. It wasn't till later in the season that you started rolling with Gronk. Um, I'm out on Gronkowski. As a tight end. I mean, not in real NFL schemes. But for fantasy purposes, I think that Irv Smith Jr. could have a better year and a better stat line than what Gronk put up in 2020. Hawkinson, obviously. Goddard. Ertz is still up there in fucking Philly, but I mean, he's gotten banged up. Man, Noah Fant. I think that Noah Fant could potentially have a better year than Gronk. Maybe. I mean that Denver offense is lackluster. It's tough. It's tough when you start getting past that top five tight end range. But other than that, I mean, this Bucs defense is going to be just as good as they were last year. Still have no problems drafting the Bucs defense. But outside of that, this team is super fantasy football friendly. You have the GOAT Tom Brady. You have 3 amazing receivers with the Hall of Fame caliber receiver on that roster as well. I mean, excuse him off field and some of his even on field shenanigans. When it is with the stint of the Raiders, but I mean, you got AB, you got and Chris Godwin, and then you got Mike Evans, who's just performed well and performed steady throughout his whole career and has always been a reliable guy. You're backfield with Ronald Jones, and then maybe you switch and on some passing out the backfield with Leonard Fournette. Playoff Lenny as they like to reference him. But I mean, other than that, this team is stacked. Playoff perennial caliber team. I mean, it's a Super Bowl caliber team, not playoff. I mean, but I mean, because we all know this team, as long as you have Tom Brady, you have a high shot at the fucking Super Bowl. Hopefully, we don't get Chiefs Bucks again, get something else. But yeah, that's been the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Bucs. Greatly appreciate you guys. Remember, promo code RUMBOYS, monkeyknifefight.com for all your legal daily fantasy prop action. You're trying to win some money on these props, get on over to monkeyknifefight.com. Tell them the RUMBOYS sent you by using our promo code whenever you sign up. And also download the SportsMe app. Link is in the description for that. Make sure everyone gets on over to SportsMe in the App Store. Look for the trophy. You see the hat, right? Y'all see the SportsMe hat. I'm out here branding, brand representation. And yeah, y'all, it's been the RUMBOYS Fantasy Network. It's your boy RUMBOYS Robbie. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the RUMBOYS and girls, what it do. Oh, it looked like it froze there for a minute. All the RUMBOYS and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. I love and appreciate all of you. Peace.